Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new around here, my name is Lisa. I am a full-time reseller and I'm also a single mom with 4 kids. So I am very busy, as I always say. So I mostly sell like clothing and shoes and accessories. I do dabble a little bit in other categories, but that's my main source of income. And I have been selling full-time since 2018. So it's been several years now. I sell on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, Etsy, and Depop. Those are the 5 platforms that I currently am listing on. I've tried other platforms in the past as well, but these are my main 5 currently. And there has been a lot of changes as far as seller fees and structures. So I kind of wanted to talk about my thoughts on it. I know most of you have probably already heard yesterday, which was October 3rd, Poshmark announced that they are going to be changing the fee structure. So it used to be a solid 20% no matter, well, that's not true. 20% for everything over $15 that you sold on Poshmark. So if you sold anything $15 or more on Poshmark, you were charged a 20% platform fee. And then if it was under $15, or I think it might have been 15 and less, would be $2.95. So they would make sure they got at least a $2.95 fee from any sale, but anything over that threshold, they would charge 20%. So that has been Poshmark's fee as long as I've been selling on Poshmark. And even though I went full-time in 2018, I've been selling on Poshmark since like 2012. So 2012 or some, I'll have to look. I'm going to put it on the screen here because I'll have to go look. It says it on your profile, but I think it was 2012. It was when I was living in California, and I'm pretty sure Poshmark was brand new, but it has been a while. So this is a major change that Poshmark made, and it is on the heels of both Mercari and Depop doing similar changes to their structures and how they charge for fees. By the way, their new structure is a little confusing. It's like a $1, $2, or $3 flat charge depending on the tier of pricing that it falls in, and I will put it right here so you guys can see what that tiers are. And then after that flat fee, there's also I think it was 5.99% or 6.99. I'd have to look that up again. Right here, I'll put it, percentage. So it's basically like almost half the percentage, but they're charging a percentage to the buyers as well. So really, Poshmark is not losing any money from what they were previously charging. They're probably making about the same off the sales, but they're putting a portion of that onto the buyer of the fees. So I know a lot of people were really upset when they heard about these changes. A lot of sellers, which might sound kind of counterintuitive because you would think as a seller, hearing that your fees are going down would be exciting. But I think a lot of people are concerned about whether or not a buyer is willing to shoulder that additional cost, especially on Poshmark, because the way that Poshmark does their shipping is a flat fee no matter the size of the package. So, well, as long as it doesn't exceed 5 pounds. So anything 5 pounds and under, it costs the buyer, what is it now? I don't even know. I should have looked these numbers up again. I will put it on the screen, but it's like almost $8, I want to say, for the flat fee for shipping, unless the seller offers a shipping discount, which we are able to do when we send offers. But in general, you're paying like $8 to ship something small. Like if you bought jewelry, you're paying $8 to ship that, which is really, really high. And on other platforms like Mercari and Depop and eBay, we're able to stagger our shipping cost to the buyer depending on the size of the item. So for example, when I ship on eBay, I set a flat fee. So if it was something small like a bra or jewelry, I would set the flat shipping rate at only $4 for my buyer, because I know I could ship that for around $4. Sometimes it exceeds it by a few cents or so, because I live in Washington State, so I'm in the corner. So a lot of times my shipping is more expensive because it's going so far than someone in the middle of the country. But anyway, that being said, a buyer is paying a lot more to ship smaller items on Poshmark. So I can see why a lot of buyers or sellers are concerned that buyers will be scared off by these additional fees. I do have to say though, today is the second day of the changes in this fee structure. I have not noticed a dip in my sales. If anything, my sales have stayed strong. My sales lately have really been spiking, and I thought maybe I might see a change either going up or down as far as, sales once this change went into effect. I have really not seen a difference at all. Now we're only 2 days in, but yesterday and today I have sold over $100 each day on Poshmark. Yesterday I sold almost $200 on just Poshmark. And so that's really good. And I don't think that these additional fees have made any difference for my buyer. Also keep in mind as a seller, like if you are concerned that a buyer is not going to like the pricing because of the additional fees, you're paying less in fees. So you can adjust your pricing down slightly knowing that. I know when I list on Poshmark, because the fees were previously to this change, because the fees were a little bit higher than every other platform, I would sometimes price my items just slightly higher on Poshmark to accommodate that additional percentage that I was paying in fees. Now that the fees are more reasonable, I don't have to do that. In fact, I can adjust my pricing a little bit and it's not going to hurt my bottom line. So that's something that you have to remember. Also, I have to say, Mercari made these changes where actually Mercari is even better. Mercari got rid of the seller fees. You pay 0 seller fees. You pay 0 in shipping. If you do the Mercari labels and ask your buyer to pay, you pay nothing for shipping. They give you the label just like on Poshmark, but you can stagger the pricing of the shipping depending on the size of the item. Like, I feel like Mercari is like the winning platform. And I have had amazing sales on Mercari this week. And I know a lot of people, and not just this week, but in general, since they've made their changes, I have not seen a difference in my sales. If anything, they've gotten better, not worse. Just this past week, I've sold $400 on Mercari. And I don't have as many items on Mercari as I do on my Poshmark closet. I have close to 5,000 listings on Poshmark, and I only have about 3,500 on Mercari. And yet my sales on Mercari are almost reaching the sales on Poshmark. So I don't think these fee structures are as scary as they sound, you guys. Because once again, like I said, with the Poshmark situation on Mercari, I just started lowering my prices. I would keep an eye on where it was and make sure it was still competitive, but I was willing to let things go for less on Mercari than I would on Poshmark, knowing that I have 0 fees. So, if I wanted to get $20 out of an item, on Poshmark, I'd have to list that at 25, but on Mercari, I can list it at 20, and I will get the same amount if it sells it on Poshmark for 25 versus Mercari for 20, obviously, based on the old fee structures. But so keep that in mind, guys. Like, play with your prices a little bit. Don't let it scare you. I honestly feel like I was starting to wonder because my sales on Mercari are just insane. I'm like making like 3-4 sales a day on Mercari. I started to wonder if it's because everyone pulled out of Mercari thinking that it was a burning ship and everyone jumped off. And now I'm like, okay, well, there's still buyers there. And so there's less sellers. So that's actually helping me. I feel like that might be a little bit of why my sales on Mercari have been amazing. The thing you have to remember about being a reseller, you own a business and every business changes. In fact, there's nothing in this world that doesn't change. Things change and you have to roll with the punches. You have to change your strategy to stay competitive. And I don't think this is the end of reselling. I don't think this is the end of buyers on Poshmark and Mercari or Depop as well. Like I mentioned earlier, Depop has changed their fees as well. It's more similar to what Poshmark is doing. They are still charging a flat fee. I don't know their exact structure because I haven't looked closely at it. All I know is it went down quite a bit, and I've been making sales over there too. Not as many because I don't have the bulk of my listings there. I want to say I only have about 800 listings there right now. I just started incorporating Depop into my business model, but I'm still making a few sales a week over there, which is very exciting. Those are sales that I would not have got if I was not on Depop. So I think diversifying and getting your items out there and seen by as many people as possible is the best strategy. And when these sites make these changes to the fees or any other change, you just have to adjust your strategy. So, maybe that means you go onto your Poshmark closet and reduce all your listing prices by 5% to make up for the 5% extra fee the buyer is paying. Maybe you do that to stay competitive. And I just don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think it's going to scare off buyers because they're now paying these additional fees on Mercari. They're paying fees on Depop now to buy there, and now Poshmark. I don't think eBay will be far behind. In fact, I'm really hoping, because If you watch my channel, if you see my other videos, you guys know I don't like eBay. eBay is the hardest platform for me. And I make the least amount of sales over there. And even though there's the most buyers, I don't understand how that works. Like, I do pretty good on my other platforms, but I just cannot seem to find the buyers on eBay. So I've tried everything from changing my listing, like the wording on my listing. I've tried changing pricing. I've tried everything, and I just really struggle with eBay. But I hope they change their fee structure. I hate that you have to buy a store in order to list items, especially like in my situation. I'm just not making the sales to justify paying these fees, but I'm just like waiting for the algorithm to go in my favor. You know what I mean? So I really hope that eBay adopts or sees what's going on and has to try to stay competitive and make some of these changes as well, because I actually think it's a good thing. I might be the only person out there that thinks that it's a good thing, but I think it's a good thing because this way with buyers, when they're sending offers, a lot of times I don't think that they realize the fees that we're paying as sellers. And so when they're sending offers that are aggressive, I don't think they realize that on top of that, we're losing 20% of that to Poshmark. And excuse me. And so now when they actually see those fees and they're built in on their end, I don't know, I just feel like it will in the long run help us as sellers. So leave me your thoughts. Like, this is just what I think. This is just my opinion. My opinion doesn't matter. I'm just some random person on the internet. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think about these changes? Have you noticed a difference? If you're selling on Mercari and Depop, who have had these changes for a while, did you see a dip in your sales, or did you see an increase like I did? And how do you think this Poshmark changes are going to affect your business? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. So thank you for watching this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, leave them below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye now.